Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Rage Cage 20 here. Before we get into this, if you clicked on this video not knowing what you're about to be in for, I just gotta give a warning right at the gate. Before shit, I gotta stop doing that. Before anybody tries to skip ahead or whatnot, just a warning: this video is very, very disturbing and can trigger you very easily and make you upset. Be prepared for that. Now that you've had that warning right out the gate, we're reacting to another video today, and I couldn't not listen to more Skin. I'm pretty sure that was a double negative, which is what I was going for. Anyways, and as I mentioned, the next one we're probably going to be doing is Columbine, and this one, unlike Michelle Carter, I had not listened to before. This is going to be flying by the seat of my pants here. Now this is featuring Bill Saber. I don't know if I just said that or not. I actually feel like the words came out of my mouth, but now I can't remember. I swear I'm gonna die young. So many issues. Anyways, I knew I was gonna be listening to Columbine soon, so I went and looked up Bill Saber, see how this dude would gel with Skin's flow on their songs and whatnot, and can't say that Bill Saber is my cup of tea for sure. I listened to, I think, 3 songs. I think one was Hallelujah. I don't remember what the other two were called. I'm actually surprised I remember what Hallelujah was called. I can actually look it up here real fast just to give you a point of view. Anyways, point of reference to what I've listened to. I didn't dislike it. Stop doing that. Creepin' and Lurkin', that was the first one I listened to. And then Come With The Force. I actually kind of like Come With The Force. And then Hallelujah. I listened to those 3 songs. And I actually kind of like Come With The Force. I do love the dude's fucking dreads kind of being put in front of him like goat or demon horns. It's fucking cool. Like, so fucking cool. Gotta say that. But I don't know. I feel like most of his songs, I'm pretty sure, because a lot of them are pretty short. The first one I listened to was 2 minutes. The longest one is 3 minutes. Now that's pretty standard length, but like for most of the songs I listen to, that's very short. But within like 2 minutes, I'm pretty sure he said the N-word like 100 times. And I think the rest of the lyrics was cussing. Was just a bunch of expletives. And then I think there's a few actual words put in there occasionally. It seems like all the dude does is just swear and drop racial N-bombs. Doesn't mean he's black, so he can do that all he wants. But I'm just saying, I was like, it didn't seem like most of what he was saying was actually words. And then the only words he actually did say, he just repeated himself like 20 times. So for me personally, not really my thing. But I kind of really liked Come With The Force. That was actually pretty damn good. It was pretty cool. The video was awesome. But listening to his voice, listening to the way he just kind of has his naturally creepy and dark delivery to what he says, I think he's going to fit with Skinned very well. So I'm prepared for that. What I'm not prepared for is this song. For those of you who don't know, who are those of you who are clicking on this and who do not know me personally, I am a teacher. I am a fully licensed teacher. And gotta tell ya, I think it's my microphone. Not my microphone, my headset. Gotta tell you, I mean, I know of Columbine to an extent. 2 dudes. I remember one's name was Dylan. I don't remember the other one, though. I just kind of looked it up a little bit ago. came up in place and shot the school up, and at the time it was the biggest school shooting ever that sparked so many different debates and so many different rules and regulations and safety procedures and policies that many were stupid and didn't actually work, and they're actually starting to fix those now, which is stupid. Yeah, lock yourself in, and if you turn off the lights, they'll assume no one's in the room and just walk away. Yeah, I'm sure that's what's going to happen. Yeah. I'm sure that's how that's going to go down. No, get the fuck out if you can. Fucking run, flee, and don't look back. Like, that's how you fucking survive that situation. Anyways, but if they're already there and you don't have a window to get out, just fucking hope that they keep walking. Hope that the dark room works. But anyways, there's some policies I just don't agree with in schools. That's why every time I go into a school, because I sub at the moment, until I decide to pick a school I want to actually stick with. Every time I go into a class, I look for windows. I look for an exit, a backdoor exit, just in case shooting happens. I'm paranoid that way. But it will save, hopefully, not only my life, but most importantly, the life of all the students that are there. So, we'll see. Hopefully it never happens, though. But anyways, I guess they tried to bomb the school. I didn't remember that part, but the bombs didn't work. The bombs didn't go off, so they said fuck it, pulled out guns and started backup plan and started killing a bunch of people. And there's a whole bunch of details that I don't know a lot of them. I remember my ex-wife was obsessed with the law documentaries. She just loved watching documentaries, and this is one that she watched pretty exclusively on Columbine. I think she watched probably 2 or 3 different Columbine documentaries. I remember she did the one Bowling for Columbine, the Michael Moore, I want to say, and whatnot. So I've heard little bits and pieces. I don't really know the full story, but I have a feeling this one's gonna hit me a little harder, for sure. I feel like this is going to, I don't know, I'm actually kind of hoping that this is going to have some kind of emotional effect for me, so kind of looking forward to that. What we're going to do here that's a little differently than I do my other reaction videos is I'm not going to write anything down. I don't want to distract myself from the video at all. I want to watch the video. I want to be completely engrossed in every second that happens before me here. I do have technically lyrics next to me. Excuse me. Sorry, it is midnight and I am tired. I'll probably be going to bed pretty soon, but I decided I would disturb myself and probably make myself extremely emotional. Anyways, before I went to bed, usually I like to write stuff down and get timestamps and whatnot, but I don't plan on doing that. I don't plan on looking at the lyrics until after. So we're probably going to go through the video twice. First time, uninterrupted, just want to watch. The second time, we'll go back and see if I remember anything that potentially, I'll just try to keep it in my memory, and then kind of go over the lyrics and different things, see if I can pick a few things out and up. So, sorry for the long intro. Skyn's always going to have a long intro, probably every single fucking video, because she's crazy and I love her. I have watched 2 or 3 interviews with her, and she has an amazing smile, by the way. She shows a lot of teeth, which is kind of scary. She's got a lot, like, I don't want to say big teeth, but anyways, she's always kind of smiling like this. She has a lot of teeth, which is generally, to me, makes me think of kind of how animals do that to be aggressive, and kind of scares me with the kind of music that she delves into. But I think it's kind of cute at the same time. It's kind of adorable, like how she just generally seems to be happy and just kind of polite, and yet she makes this music. It's always fascinating. It's kind of like Maria Brink, to where it's like she makes all this music, but then if you like dark, crazy, in your face, aggressive music, but then if you ever listen to her just talking in an interview, she seems like such a sweet, soft spoken person. It's like, what? This is not what I expected. Though it does seem like this girl has some damage. But then again, you don't gaze this deep into the abyss of the darkness of humanity if you don't have a little bit of damage. So that's why we're all here, right? Skynd, featuring Bill Saber with the $, obviously. Columbine. I really don't want to push the button to start this video, but also I do at the same time, so I'll try to move a little bit farther away from the mic so I don't accidentally breathe into it if I start getting emotional or heavy and whatnot, because that happened in the fighter in this moment. So I'll try not to do that. We'll see what happens. Okay. Is that how my anthem's playing? Ooh. Alright, there I am. Yeah. Got the hair pretty well down. The dude has some curly ass hair. Hmm. Oh, fuck. Let's see. Is there a way to turn those the fuck off? Oh, fuck. Wrong button. I'm pushing buttons. Get out of here. Is there a way? Let me find out if there's a way. Those annotations? Those don't look like annotations. I don't know, because I've seen people make those not be there. Well, they just didn't have it for them. And I don't know why. I don't know how you did that. Not important. But you know, I like that quote. I have part of the words cut off here, but it looks like it's like he who cannot, I would imagine, or those who cannot remember the past is condemned to repeat it, which like a lot of people mention, we just immediately forget about all the things that happen. Like, oh, there hasn't been a school shooting for a while, and a while we forget about it, and just okay. That was not what I thought. There was not really any lyrics to that. There's technically two verses and kind of a chorus in there. But pretty much there's only two chunks in here that's actually not just repeated. Now I'm looking here. Just looking at the lyrics I find. Interesting. It seemed like it was shorter. I mean, it was 5.5 minutes, but it felt shorter. I feel like I was a little gripped in there, a little lost, just kind of spaced out, really, like spaced out of time and reality, and was just focused in on what I was seeing. And it felt like it was just one isolated scene of a massive, drawn out terror, just pure fear and panic, which I think they did an amazing job showing that. We're gonna talk about that here a little bit more in a second. I'm just kind of overviewing at the moment. So I was actually kind of predicting more than just than just one scene. I did not expect it to pick one person and follow them. But again, that's part of Skin not glorifying the killers. It's not following them. It's following one of their victims. And I don't know if it was one of the. I don't know if it was. I think the two girls that they asked, like, do you believe in God? They said yes, and they shot him. I don't think it was one of them. Obviously, because I think they both died. I don't remember their names. I just kind of briefly looked over that when studying it. But sorry, I'm trying to wrap my brain around this. Also, I'm tired. But they definitely played mind games, and we'll go over that in a little bit more detail in a second when we get to that part. But I think it's one of the people that thought they were going to die, and then they just decided to let them live. it's kind of not what I expected. Like it really started to get to me, because I think she did an amazing job at just showing the sheer terror in that situation when you know there's no way out. Um, the only exit is running past people who can spray automatic bullets at you. Um, there's no exits for you. They're immediately in there shooting. Like, you feel completely helpless. You could like you just hmm, like I think she really nailed that terror and that fear really well. Um, and it was starting to get to me. It was starting to get to me. I could feel a tear welling up in this eye specifically. It's still a little damp actually now that I touched there. Um, and then it was just kind of over, and I felt like it didn't bring me to that place. It got close. It made me feel scared. Just imagining being in that situation, and then it almost brought some tears to my eye, and then it was over. And it's still kind of a little weird to me. I was wanting more, like maybe even to push even harder, but like towards this theme and whatnot. But I don't know, I'm pretty satisfied where it was. Let's let's go back here. Let's skip forward to following this person. I do not know who this person is. Admittedly, I do not know who this woman is. I don't know if she has a name. I don't know if they just created a specific scenario or if this is one of the people that survived. I have not researched that far into Columbine. Um, huh. Anyways, boop, pop me back in here. Starting off at this point, it's just kind of they give you the imagery built up here of the two killers walking in the school, everyone else completely oblivious to the fact that this is about to happen, just going on with their everyday lives. Um, like everything's happy, people are laughing, some people aren't, which we have an example of here. Um, just looking at I'm just gonna go through some of the lyrics here because I don't think I'm really gonna have time to go over them a whole lot while the song is going and pausing and stuff. Just the first part here. Public school battlegrounds. Two students come around like loaded soldiers packing heat inside a shotgun. Gun click to the beat. Down. We shoot you down. We come around and we blow off that trigger. Get down. We shoot you down. We come around. The gun goes click, click, click. And then I noticed this before I started this because it's these huge blocks of text that's just ratatata. And you can hear her singing it obviously throughout a good chunk of this, and I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be kind of the imitated ish, like not accurate imitated sounds, but that's supposed to represent the gunfire, the sounds of gunfire of automatic weapons, which nice touch, really cool to have that in there. And then of course when Saber comes in, which again I knew he would have the perfect voice for this. I knew he'd be a good addition to this for sure. Get up, ready, mark, shoot. I feel like I'm remembering that from the documentary. I feel like that might have been something instructions that they were giving each other during the whole thing. I can't remember if that's true or not, but I feel like I remember that. How many victims is we about to lose? How many victims? How many victims? Repeating. Um, Then back into the other lyrics. No vendetta, seeking fame, bombs and bullets. It's just a game we play. Baby soldiers, basketball field, inside a shotgun, gun click to the beat down. And then everything else is repeated. So there's not really... The lyrics themselves actually don't necessarily kind of talk about what's happening. It's kind of mostly all in the video. And it seems like the lyrics and everything is just to kind of back up kind of what's happening, foreshadowing what's about to happen at a certain point. It's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Okay, well, with that in mind, let's walk through this. I had some thoughts while we were going through here, and I feel like we can point them out together. So around this point here, obviously it looks like we got a couple. I think she's wearing his jacket. I think that's what happened later. I do not know. It seems like we got a couple that's fighting, and I think that this, again, I think every single thing she does in these videos is intentional, because as they say, they're storytellers and they're here to tell a story, and I want to find that. I want to say what the story said to me here. And to me, when I was looking at this, is just like, with no idea what's about to come, I'm just thinking that this is just an average day. Like, this fight that they're having now will seem so trivial in the end. Like, it's one of those things that, like, we especially when we're in relationships and whatnot, it's like in the heat of the moment, like, it seems like it's so important, but at the end, it's like in the grand scheme of things, is these little arguments that we're having really that important? And knowing what's about to happen, it's just like, it's just this fight seems so trivial compared to what's about to change their life, especially this dude, because he does not make it. So I got a little wave of sadness there. Continuing. And that gunshot sound there to kick off the beat. I just now noticed that. That's interesting. Looking at her makeup, I don't know if there's anything I can say particularly that represents the killers specifically. She does look like she's kind of in high school garb and whatnot. I like how I can actually see, even though this is black and white, which I feel like there's a reason for that, but I'm not 100% positive. You can actually see part of her eye. I'm so used to both of them being very blacked out. One is, but one is actually visible. I find that fascinating. Interesting. Continuing, because there's nothing that I'm noting that here that kind of links to the crime itself. I don't know what this would represent. It could be like blood running down or something. I'm not sure.
Poverty school, battleground. Two students come around like loaded soldiers packing in. Inside of shut the gun click to the beat down. We shoot you down, we come around. And when we pull off that trigger, get down. We shoot you down, we come around.
I'm pretty sure she flipped him off. I noted that in the video. I was like, that's rude. I don't know what conversation they're having, but that seems very rude. And I kind of like that she's standing there in the background just observing. Again, it definitely seems like she's kind of like the observing angel of death in a lot of these videos. Again, you have these girls here in the background, completely oblivious to what's about to happen. They seem happy, just having fun, playing around, and just how serious shit's about to get. I think that is specifically done. I think they specifically wanted that imagery. This actually part made me sad. That right there. Fucking high school kids, man. Just like you can, like, obviously we know she's not okay and she's going through a rough patch here. And then I assume teacher is showing up and they're just like, oh yeah, no, everything's perfectly fine. Don't even worry about it. I work with some people who are like that. It's just like, okay, I know you're not okay. Stop lying to me that you're okay. Um, so it's just that's kind of what this made me think about. So that also kind of made me sad because as soon as he's gone, back to okay, I'm done pretending. I am not okay. Yes. And of course, we have the ratatas going on, which, again, I think is supposed to be gunfire sound. But it's also very catchy. And in this moment, this is also something I noticed, and I think is, again, very accurate. They're really good at capturing human emotion here. I assume she sees boyfriend, home dude here, talking to a girl, and she's jealous and is like, oh, you know, fuck you, take your fucking jacket back or whatever. And I'm assuming he's like, yo, nothing's even happening. Why you coming at me right now? Why you being like this? And of course, the other girl there is just laughing at her, just being like, yeah, I'm talking to your man, what fucking of it? And girls do that. I swear girls are your own worst enemies. I don't know what it is. Like everything is a competition between you and you just enjoy the other one's misery, and it's just like, it just upsets me. Anyways, moving on. By the way, again, Bill Saber, man, he's just fucking, he's killing it in this. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I might not have necessarily liked a lot of the stuff I was hearing from him, but in here, just he doesn't have a lot of lines. He's got two big chunks that he comes back to, but like, he's just got this good flow about him. He's just got this good sound. It goes very well with not only the theme that Skynd creates, but also just with the flow of the music. He gets in it, and I just gotta say, I was really impressed with him. Really impressed with him for sure. But yeah, this one's kind of important. I do not know what the library of the school looked like, but I think this is supposed to be the library. It doesn't look like much of a library. I don't know if this is actually what they're, again, I don't know if this is actually what it looked like. But I think that the library and cafeteria, if I remember reading correctly, was like the biggest situations. It was where huge incidents went down. Is where they definitely tortured people and fucked with them. So this is the recreation of the library. And there's a point here where it was also described in research I did that there was just like, you know, what are those sounds? What's happening? You know, everyone's starting to get a little words like, what's that sound? You know, what's going on out there? All of a sudden, boom, they bust through the door and start shooting. And that's where that confusion, that like look of like, what is that, to sudden fear and realization, there's people with guns in here, and they just start freaking out. I think that was a really good transition. I can actually read it off of all their faces without being able to hear anything that they're saying. And yeah, fucking really well done. God, this is absolutely terrifying shit. Right here, right when we got to this point, I was like, yeah, when it turns back, it's gonna be Skynd. I was like, yeah. Here, I was like, and it's gonna go back to the girl. Here's where they're hearing the sounds. People are starting to notice. And you can see, it just reading their faces, I think these people did a great job too, where it's like, Like, many people might be familiar with the exact sounds of gunfire. Um, but I've actually kind of been in a situation like this before. Um, not this situation, but I remember when I was student teaching. Just a random side story here. I forgot that they were having some kind of festival or something. I don't remember what they were doing. I know they had an actual old school cannon, like you put a cannonball into light fuse and whatnot. And I was just outside chilling because this was in between high school and middle school, and there was a break. There was like an hour break before I actually had to come back in to start teaching because it was our prep period. I gotta stop hitting that. I think that's buffering the mic. It's causing more work for me. And I just remember hearing this like bomb explosion kind of sound going off, like almost like gunfire, but fucking loud as hell. Just one solitary, just boof, just kind of thing going on. I was stopped. I was like just hearing that sound. I was just like, wait, what is this? Is this where I drive away? Like, is it? Do I gotta call the cops? Is a shooting? Like, just that thought of just like, is that gunfire? Like, what is happening? Just that momentary, just kind of fears hitting you. Just like, no, 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 no. There's no way that is. I think this is very well representative of that feeling. And I loved when they had the books explode. He took a shot at them while they were fleeing. Like, it's a horrifying thing. It's exploding around you. You're just trying to duck into cover. And then when you get into the cover, when I noticed, it's just like you have nowhere to go. Like, you're out in the open hiding behind something that they can just walk around. How are you going to get away from their gunfire? Like, that's just absolutely fucking terrifying. And boom. Blood, death. And people that are trying to flee to one of the only two exits are getting gunned down. What do you do in that moment? She's covering her ears because it's loud. Fucking guns are loud. I don't know if you've been around guns, but they're fucking loud. And you could just see the pure terror and fear on her face. It's just like, what do you even do in this moment? You see people trying to escape and they're just getting gunned the fuck down. There's nothing you can do but sit there, curl up and ball, and pray to whatever deity you believe in and or don't believe in. You just pray. And that's absolutely fucking terrifying. Looked out, saw that there was an opening to try to move forward, and took it. But not brave enough to go straight for an exit, because that could get you shot. By the way, this beat is fucking sick, by the way. I'm just throwing that in there. The bass is fucking on point, and it's matching very well with Saber's voice. That kind of higher pitch, like, is adding a nice flavor to it. The drums are fucking cool. Some good treble on it, but also some nice snare hits. Like, fucking, I think there's snare hits. Like, just, music's on point. I'm just gonna put 20 minutes. Just gonna put that one out there right now. And there's blood on her, which I assume got splattered onto some part of her body that she rubbed. It looks like she rubbed it on her face or whatnot, or someone else just died and she got hit on the side. Didn't notice that. It's going on right there. And at this point, you can tell that, like, they know that these people, there's no escape for these people. They know that the people know there's no escape for them. And I believe I remember seeing this in the documentary where they would, I think it was when they were in the cafeteria. I think is when they had video footage of this, to where they would just taunt these people. They would mock them. They wanted to feel their fear. They wanted to upset them, because the theory is that they were bullied and picked on, and they wanted to do the same. They wanted to give the jocks and the preppy people and whatnot, the same feeling of hopelessness that they gave to them or something like that. And so you see that with him, like just kind of stomping on the on top, getting on top of the table, stomping around on it, even smacking it, and just kind of scaring them. And then he toys with them by like just running the gun all along her face, just not knowing if he's actually going to pull the trigger or not. Just absolute fucking mind games, which is absolutely, again, the only word I can really use for this is just terrifying. Like, I feel bad for anyone who's ever had to be in this situation, and I hope I never have to find myself in this situation. It's there's nothing you can do but just kind of sit there and say, well, if I die, I die. You have to come to terms with your death pretty fucking fast. Sometimes you get seconds, sometimes you get minutes. It's, yeah, who knows? I also just noticed that I think his hand slaps went in time with her ratatatas that came back. Just throwing that one out there. Let's come back here. I also really like the extra. God, I can never remember this word when I want it. I can always remember it when I'm not doing this, but not in the heat of the moment. Embellishment. There you go. I like the extra embellishment she's doing onto this. Kind of sounds like there's almost a little bit of vibrato onto it, and also a little bit of pitch bend at the end of the ratatata when she's kind of holding it out for a little bit. I feel like she's got a little bit of vibrato going on, maybe a little bit of pitch shifting and bending in there. Let's hear that again. Yeah, some interesting things going on there. Sounds really cool. Pulled out by the hair and put immediately at gunpoint. Like, I think she's doing an amazing point of just demonstrating the sheer panic and fear right here. That, I mean, and they're using the right gun too. I saw pictures of the guns that they used, and those are them. Yeah, or at least they look identical. Oh my god. It's you don't want to try to put yourself into that position to think like, how would you feel in this situation? But it's just like, I mean, that's scary. That's fucking scary. Especially when you're a teenager. Like, I mean, this is scary at any point in your life. Let's be honest here. Unless you're not really afraid to die, you don't really care if you die. I mean, I'd just kind of be like, pull the trigger, pussy. But, I don't know. I've never been in this situation. They probably would. I probably wouldn't say that because they probably would. I've seen them do it. But I don't know. I've never been in a situation, but I've been held at gunpoint. But I feel like if I was, I would just kind of be looking for any kind, just be scanning the body, elbows, arms, hands, for any weak point that potentially I could try to disarm or something. And I'd probably fail horribly and just get fucking lit up, in all honesty. But I would try. I wouldn't go down begging. I would go down swinging. But in general, even in that moment, you better believe my heart would be pounding at 1,000,000 fucking miles a second. Because it would be traveling. It would be out of my chest, flying down the street at 1,000,000 miles per second. You better believe it. Like, my body would be overheating, be pounding like crazy. I'd probably be shaking, like, for sure. Like, this is like a scary fucking scenario, a terrifying, horrifying scenario, no matter who you are. Anyways, I think she does. To get to the point, I think she does a really great job portraying that. I think whoever they have doing these actings are amazing. There's a point right here where it feels like she steals herself a little bit. Like either she accepts it or is tired of him playing with her. But at this point here, I noticed there was kind of a change in her face to where it was just like, just kind of almost like, fuck it, I'm dead. This is the moment. And then, I don't know if he told her to run. I feel like I remember that too now that I'm thinking about it. But he just let her go and she's just like, I'm out. So I imagine he was just like, run or something and start playing with him more or something. But that moment where you get chosen to live, you just fucking go. And then of course she sees her boy, her ex-boyfriend, by not because he's dead, but because it looked like they were done, or about to be done. And now this is kind of all coming full circle to the point of just kind of seems like that fight we were just having. It's seemed trivial now. But you even see the moment she kind of like just the face I'm getting here when she sees him is just kind of like you could tell she's still scared and horrified, but it's just like just in too much shock to even really have an honest reaction to what she's seeing. Like it's almost like a dream. Like you don't see her break down, you don't see her like lose it when she sees her boyfriend dead on the floor. I'm assuming it's her boyfriend. That's just based off the story I'm seeing. It's like there's just too much shock to even go to that level. She just needs to keep running. Is like all the brain's thinking. Is just kind of what I got from it. See, because it doesn't really break down. She's just kind of mouth agape, just like looking at it, you know. And I think this now, again the change up and the outfit and everything, to me just looks like the angel of death or something. Like she is death. Just kind of observing and just kind of, I don't know if death would enjoy people taking lives. I don't know. You know, you always see death like the Grim Reaper fucking outfit and stuff. That's kind of what I'm imagining here. Just looks like she is like almost like the jester of death, just looking at her clothing. And just kind of almost sounds like she's kind of like mocking the gun sounds. Not necessarily mocking, but just kind of laughing along with the gun sounds and just saying them out loud as if she's mocking what's happening. That's just this unbridled. Not that she herself is making fun of this situation, what's happening, but just kind of like this angel of death is just kind of laughing along with all the destruction and chaos that's happening. And I think... I just think that's really well done. I think it's just this video, all of the videos I've seen so far, which is 2. It's just really well done. And of course, you have the guy there that calls himself, they call him father. I don't know if it's actually her father, but he seems way. Is he? No, he's not her father. That's right, because they met each other. I remember listening to the interview of how they met each other, and unless it was actually her father, and she just didn't know it was her father, just she knew it was her father. Maybe they didn't see each other. I don't know. I don't know her history. Many people don't actually. Besides what she's shared in interviews, no one really knows who she is, and I think that's the way she wants it to be. But they call him father. I don't know if it's actually her father, but he's kind of the dude that does the production work, is from what I've been told. But I don't know. But he's just kind of standing there wearing his usual stuff, not talking like he usually doesn't. And of course, image of the image of where we started, going along with the whole them telling a story. We're back to where we started, but things have changed. Things are clearly different, and you just have this ominous figure just looming there as you know that there's just death happening everywhere, and everything's cleared out, and there's no one there. That's crazy, man. And the music kind of fades. That was nuts, though admittedly not as shocking, and like it didn't affect me as much as I thought it was going to. It is definitely a horrifying, terrifying scene, and it definitely gripped me as such. But like when it was about to push me to that edge, it just kind of stopped. It was just kind of over. And I think that's interesting. I feel like that means something. I feel like, not necessarily to my character, though that probably does mean something as well. But I feel like that's supposed to mean something with the story, though I don't necessarily know exactly what that is. But I feel like it means something. That was Columbine. Yeah, definitely horrifying, but not nearly as affecting as I thought it was going to be, honestly. I thought that was going to be much crazier. Like, I feel like I definitely got hit by Michelle Carter way harder than I did this, and I feel like I should have been hit by this because it hits home more than Michelle Carter, but I wasn't. And I feel like just the incorporation of the actual words that she said was just way more chilling than this was to me. And maybe that has something to do with just society, which is like we're so used to, like, you know, like, oh yeah, school shootings, just another school shooting. Like, been there, we've seen that on the news a million times, like, old story, and that's absolutely horrendous that is just kind of the way the world is right now. Well, has been. Again, school's been closed for a year, so it's not like that's been an opportunity to happen, which is kind of nice in the sense that school shootings have gone down. I don't. Maybe I'm just desensitized to it, or maybe it just the first one was kind of the shock factor, and this one, like, I knew what was going to happen before, or, you know, what was going to come out before I even, you know, because last time I didn't know who the fuck Skynd was, and so it was just kind of the shock factor of like, whoa, this is what we're doing here. And this one I was like able to prepare myself going into it. I don't know, but admittedly, even though it didn't affect me as much as I thought it was going to, or wanted it to, really wanted it to, the initial scene when I started reading on their faces that they were hearing the sounds and everything, and then when it initially took off and they started running and hiding, shit was just people dying, being shot and stuff exploding, like, that started to grip me immediately. Like, that fear set in, that, like, the horror of the situation was just, like, really evident, and that, like, really started to get to me, and I was almost there, man. I was almost crying from the situation. So it definitely got me. I was hoping for more, but not a bad thing at all. I think it was really well done. I think that the fact that there wasn't as many lyrics is okay, because it's kind of like the situations, like, you got the preamble of all the chatter beforehand, but during the actual event, there's no talking, there's only screaming and sounds of gunfire. and whatever the killers decide to fuck with you with and say to you. So I feel like the lack of lyrics meant something. I feel like that was part of the story. I felt like that was there for a reason. So like both kind of like that and also could have used more. But I'm okay with that, you know. I feel that everything this girl does, she does for a very specific reason, and I just try to find what that reason is. And I think that's really cool. It's like a puzzle that is her brain that I'm trying to unlock here. Well, that was interesting. Um, I don't know if I can necessarily say go check out Bill Saber as well. Um, I do say go check out Come with the Force because that was a really cool video. That was a really cool song. But his other stuff just didn't really impress me that much. But I think he was amazing in this. Um, uh, Even though he had a very well, both of them kind of had a small role besides her ratatatas, which sounded fucking cool. By the way, I'm just not throwing that out. I'm not throwing that under the bus. They sounded really cool. But I just, even though he was very minor in this song, um, everything he was singing was fucking on point and really cool. So I said go check him out, but you know, just be prepared that it's not very clean. Which I don't mind. I like cussing. I don't mind occasional N-bombs being thrown in there, but when it's just like, is there actually lyrics in here, or is it just all cussing and N-bombs? Like, I don't know what's going on, you know. I feel like that's kind of a problem. But I don't know. It's just not for me personally. But he did an amazing job in this song. Skynd, Columbine. That was a trip. I'm excited to get to more. However, I'm also disappointed that there's not as much that I can get to, but I guess that just means that once I get through all of them, it would just be waiting for the next song to drop. And when it does, be like, oh, fuck yeah, here we go, let's go, you know. So, thank you for joining me. Let me know how you felt. Did I miss anything? Is there any little nuances that you noticed that I didn't mention? Let me know, and I will see you all